Reprimands and suspensions tonight. Action News 5 obtained the personnel files of the 5 Memphis police officers fired and now charged with second-degree murder in the death of Tyre Nichols. Action News 5's Joyce Peterson joins us live in studio with what the documents reveal. Joyce?
Joe, 4 of the 5 officers were disciplined for previous infractions that ranged from failure to fill out paperwork to reckless driving to use of force. Officer Desmond Mills Jr., a graduate of West Virginia State University, hired by Memphis police in 2017, received a written reprimand in 2019 for failing to file a response to resistance form after arresting a woman. MPD policy requires officers to fill out that paperwork if any type of physical force has to be used to gain compliance. Officer Mills received another written reprimand in 2019 for losing his PDA, personal digital assistant, a handheld computer device. He lost it while getting into his squad car. MPD records show a supervisor said Officer Mills was one of the younger officers on the shift. He was energized and a hard worker. Officer Justin Smith, hired by Memphis police in 2018, received a 2-day suspension without pay in July 2021 and was ordered to go to remedial driving school after MPD says he caused a 3-car accident while speeding to a call. Officer Emmett Martin, a graduate of Bethel University, started with Memphis police in March 2018. Officer Martin received a 3-day suspension in June of 2019 while still a probationary officer for failing to adequately search a suspect after this handgun was found on the back floor of his squad car after an arrest. In September 2020, Officer Martin received a 1-day suspension for neglecting to report a domestic violence case. A supervisor called Martin a top producer on his shift and said it is out of his character to shirk responsibility. Officer Martin's 2021 job evaluation said he is respectful when dealing with others, approaches calls with a positive attitude, and is well received when dealing with the public. The same evaluation said Officer Martin is a 3-year officer performing on the same level as more mature, seasoned officers. And Officer Demetrius Haley, hired by MPD in August 2020. He received a written reprimand in 2021 for failing to file a response to resistance form during the arrest of a woman in a shooting call. During his hearing, a supervisor said Officer Haley is a hardworking officer who routinely makes good decisions. That same year, Officer Haley plowed into a stop sign after losing control of his squad car on the way to help another officer. That internal charge was dismissed. A supervisor stating, Officer Haley is one of the hardest working officers and is very respectful. The department needs several more officers like Haley. Our investigation also shows that Officer Demetrius Haley previously applied to MPD but was rejected. The reason for that is blacked out in the records that we reviewed. We do know he previously worked as a Shelby County corrections officer. And Officer Desmond Mills Jr. worked at 5 correctional facilities before he became a Memphis police officer. The 5th officer charged in Tyre Nichols' murder, Officer Tadarius Bean, had no record of any infractions, though records do show he attended Ole Miss, and his LinkedIn profile says he interned with Ole Miss Police. Live in studio tonight, I'm Joyce Peterson. Joe, Joy, back to you.